In the tiny world of the mind, imagine your psyche as a miniature landscape. Small objects, quiet corners, soft shadows stretching across familiar shapes. Inside this tiny inner world, Sigmund Freud believed there was a force so subtle, so silent, that most of us never even notice it. Yet it moves everything. He called it Thanatos, the death drive. Now this isn't a desire to die, not in the way we usually think. It's a pull toward stillness, a longing for silence, a return to the state before motion, before chaos, before life began to unfold. In this miniature frame, Thanatos isn't some devouring monster. It's more like a quiet gravity, gently drawing everything back to a state of rest. Freud proposed that two fundamental forces operate within every mind. First, there's Eros, the drive to live, to create, to connect, and to grow. Then, there's Thanatos, the drive to stop, to dissolve, and to return to the peaceful nothingness that came before. When we see this through a tiny world lens, the concept becomes strangely clear. Picture a tiny, delicate candle flame flickering in the dark. Eros is the flame itself, rising upward. The motion, the warmth, the will to keep on burning. Thanatos is the wax beneath it, slowly melting, slowly returning everything to the solid shape it had before the flame ever existed. You see, it's not evil, it's not violent, it is simply a return. Freud believed this force explained why we sometimes sabotage our own peace, why we seek endings even when we want beginnings, and why destruction often follows creation as naturally as a shadow follows light. In the miniature mindscape, Thanatos is a gentle urge, the desire to pause, to let go, to release the constant tension of becoming. It appears in small, everyday ways. Think about that craving for silence after a day of too much noise, or the deep need for stillness after a period of chaos. It's the temptation to erase, to rewind, or to slip back into the comfort of what's familiar and safe. It's the part of you that just wants to close the laptop and lie down. Philosophers who came after Freud expanded on this idea. They argued that Thanatos isn't just a wish to stop living, but a wish to stop struggling. A wish to escape the heavy weight of choices, the burden of consciousness, and the endless demand to stay awake in a world that never seems to rest. In its tiny world form, this idea becomes almost poetic. Imagine a tiny hourglass tipping over, the sand returning to its base, a small clock unwinding, its gears slowing until they sigh into silence. A miniature book closing itself, the story not ending, but simply resting. Thanatos is the quiet reminder that every motion seeks stillness, every flame seeks ash, and every life, no matter how bright, leans gently toward the quiet. Some might interpret this as a bleak or pessimistic view of humanity. But Freud didn't see it that way. He believed life only exists because these two forces, Eros and Thanatos, are locked in a constant dance. We create because entropy is always pulling at us. We love because the possibility of loss gives that love its meaning. We strive forward precisely because rest waits patiently at the end. The flame can only rise because the wax is melting. It's in that delicate, fragile balance that the human experience unfolds. So, when the world feels heavy, when the call for stillness feels louder than usual, remember this: you are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply feeling a whisper of the oldest rhythm in existence. The universal pull toward peace, toward quiet, toward the place where all motion ends and all things return to their tiny, silent origin. Thank you for watching.